was born in Zacatecas, Mexico. I lived in my grandfather's farm for the first 3 years of my life. And that is how long it took for my parents to get their visas approved. Once in the United States, we all found opportunities that were much better than any opportunities we would have been exposed to in our hometown. And after 6 months, our visas expired and we became undocumented. My parents were just incredible parents. Given the circumstances, they worked as hard as they could to always provide what I needed. From a very young age, I was made aware that I was undocumented, and I know the risks that came with that. I grew up being told, don't tell people you weren't born here, keep to yourself, and I quickly learned the meaning of living in the shadows. Deportation was always my biggest fear, and I remember growing up I would have nightmares that ICE would come and take my parents or take me. I was always in honor classes, and oftentimes I'd be maybe the only Latina in those classes. And I would say probably the only undocumented immigrant in those classes. And so there was always a struggle, finding a balance or finding who I truly was. I wasn't American enough. And I also wasn't Mexican enough with my Latina friends. I never told anybody I was undocumented, but as I got older, they knew of those barriers. I was working 2 jobs and going to school full-time. I couldn't obtain my driver's license when everybody else did because I didn't have a social security number. And I couldn't travel because if I leave, I can't come back. I was able to adjust my status in 2018. So I lived here for 17 years without legal status. About 9 months after that interview, I received my green card in the mail, and that day changed my life. And it never fails to amaze me how much a small plastic card can impact your life. I had to hold that green card for 3 years before I could apply for citizenship. In June of 2022, I became eligible to apply for citizenship. And so I went to my interview, took my exam. That was the hardest test I've taken, but not because of the material, but because of what was on the line. I wanted to become a citizen so badly. I never imagined that I'd become a citizen. My story is a story of millions. I'm not one in a million. I feel like I'm just one of millions. But if we don't share the obstacles we face, no one will know, and things will never change. I'm so grateful for all of the opportunities and experiences I've gained living in the United States, truly. I graduated from IUPUI in May of 2021 as a first-generation college graduate, and I worked as the Housing Resource Coordinator at Immigrant Welcome Center for 1 year. After that, I transitioned into the Legal and Naturalization Service Coordinator, and everything is a full circle because now that I am a citizen and now that I've gained the knowledge and experience, both personal and professional experience, I'm able to give back to my community. And I find my job to be very meaningful and also very rewarding.